the 34 districts make up Greater Accra region. So if all the districts get developed, then automatically Greater Accra will get developed. If all the districts in Volta region, in all the districts, in all the 16 regions get developed, then the region itself automatically gets developed. So they have an onerous responsibility of making sure that they coordinate the activities of the MMDAs very well to make sure that we see proper development. Okay. You and I know that we have been paying property with business operating permits for so many years now. We are not failing the development based on the taxes that we are paying to the Assembly. So the Regional Coordinating Committee Council has the responsibility to ensure that the money that you and I are paying to the Assembly use it judiciously, and then we, the people living in those areas, also enjoy the services of the Assembly. So that is what I will task them. I'm not the president, but they should go and look at 9 traces and read what they are supposed to do and understand it and make sure that they deliver so that the district will have a fair share of the development that everybody wants to see.
Well, we look at all of these 10 regions, and every region obviously will have very specific needs that need to be attended to. In order to be able to let the MMDCs, the DCs, become what we know more than even the member of parliament, what should we also be expecting these regional ministers to do? There are certain things that you ask an MP for, and we realize that it really is the work of the Assembly, it is the work of the district and all, but many people are not abreast with the work they do. Many people do not even know of the work that all of these people are appointed to do. So now that we have new nominations to come and fill these positions, what are some of the things you would be expecting them to hit the ground running with in order to help the people and the authorities marry, so that we understand their work and hold them more accountable to it?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, their job is cut out for them. Their job is expressly enshrined in Act 936 of the Local Government Act 2016. So it is for them to actualize it, it is for them to practicalize it, it is for them to implement it. So, like I said earlier too, the regional ministers on their own do not award contracts for road projects to be done, for school buildings to be put up and all that. The ICCs do not operate a budget. Nobody pays any money to the ICC for development. And that is why they have become an intermediary position to make sure that those who are collecting the money, i.e. the MMDAs, are supposed to do what the Act or the Constitution expects them to do. So if you have a situation whereby a chief executive is sleeping on the job, that chief executive can easily be checked by the regional minister. If there's a chief executive that is misappropriating funds at the assembly level, that chief executive can easily be checked by the ICC or the regional minister. So they should take up their job and hit it running. But for now, because there are no MMBCs as we speak, their work will not be too effective if there are no chief executive. So, but I believe that His Excellency is in the process of forming his government. So necessarily, we have to have ministers first for MMDCs to come in. So yes, the process has begun, but immediately the MMDCs are confirmed by their respective assemblies, the ICCs have a responsibility to ensure that they do what the Act also requires them to do as MMDCs, so that the confidence that we have reposed in our assembly members will be able to fill it, because it will be required of our assembly members who we have voted for to confirm the president nominee of MMDC. And so once we have, that power has been given to them and they confirm an MMDC, that MMDC must work for the good of the electorate or the citizen within a particular district assembly. So the ICCs, they have a responsibility, and they should hit the ground running by making sure that the assemblies comply with the dictates of the Constitution and what functions they are supposed to perform going forward.
Well, like you said, the president is yet to appoint some chief executives. One of the issues that has come up, and we've been having conversations on it over and over again, is the fact that the president knew that he will need some new chief executives. Shouldn't we get to that point where even before the president assumes office, he would have already put together his list, so that as soon as he assumes, this will be one of the things that he puts forward at the beginning. He names his chief executive so that they start the work, in as much as we await all other nominations.
Oh, it cannot. You see, it is actually unfortunate, and this one will blame it on Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because if you recall, when His Excellency John Atta won the 2008 elections, he allowed this series of President Kufuor to be in office for about 3 to 4 months until he had finished doing all his appointments before he asked them to go. But what did we see? When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won power, I think on the 11th of January, he sacked all the MMDCs when he had not even nominated a single person to even be a minister. So, unfortunately, John Dramani Mahama has come and he too has given Akufo-Addo the very same dose he gave to their appointees. So that is what's unfortunate. If not, technically speaking, the position of the MMDCs are not coterminous with the president of the day. Yes, the president has the power to remove a chief executive. So, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency removing the chief executive, I don't have a problem with it. I'm only saying that under normal circumstances, that should not be a priority immediately any new president comes into power. So that you take your time, you form your government, you have your ministers, because you cannot have chief executives in place when you don't even have a local government minister. So necessarily, even though they have been sacked, we still have to wait for the president to have a local government minister in place before MMDCs can be appointed. So for me, it is practically impossible for the president to have appointed his MMDCs in opposition. Even if he did, he cannot bring it out until we have a substantive local government minister in place. So that is where we are. But it is unfortunate that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo even went to the extent of amending Act 936, which allowed a security of tenure for government appointees who are assembly members. Because when we elect assembly members, they serve in office for 4 years. So in the wisdom of John Dramani Mahama in 2016, government appointees must also be allowed to serve in office for 4 years. But Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said no, he cannot work with any people who are appointed by John Mahama. So they went to Parliament under certificate of emergency to amend Act 936 to allow him to sack the government appointees who are assembly members. And we saw what His Excellency John Dramani too has done. He has also sacked Akufo-Addo's appointees, and that for me is most unfortunate. But be that as it may, that is what we are being confronted with. So yes, it cannot be the case that you have chief executives before you even have ministers and regional ministers in place. That will not be ideal or practical.
Right. Well, we are grateful for your time, Dr. Fiadomo. We'll come back for more conversations.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Dr. Richard Fiadomo is the president for the Chamber of Local Governance, and he is a local governance expert. We've been having conversations about the nominations of regional ministers. He says that the youthful nomination we are seeing is a good one because it also supports the president's 24-hour economy. This is a program or an initiative that will need young blood, young people who hit the ground running. And so if he's nominated young persons to be regional ministers, it's a step in the right direction. They will be able to run with the vision that the president bears. And he says nobody should hold the president to ransom on appointments because not everybody obviously can be nominated. Looking at over 6 million people who voted for the president, he can't nominate everybody. If you think it is your time, just bid your time, wait. The president has in his power to reshuffle at any time, and if he reshuffles and it's actually the lot falls on you and it is your time, you will be able to also serve in governance. But the older people should also give the young persons the opportunity to work at this moment. These new nominations are good for us as a nation because the older people would leave the scene soon. So if young persons have been nominated to take up these key positions, it is good because then you are empowering them to take up the roles and also lead the charge in the years to come. On the nomination of of the Minister Designate for the Greater Accra Region, Honorable Linda Okulu, he says that he commends the President for nominating a woman to lead the Greater Accra Region. It is a great nomination the President has done, and commends him for this nomination. We're talking about the governance of the local assemblies or the local authorities, as we could marry it with the regional ministers. And he says that there are RCCs, regional coordinating councils. These councils should hit the ground running. They know their work that has been set out for them. Their work has been clearly stated for them in the constitution. They should hit the ground running so that they can do the work that has been given them. On the issue of the President having to nominate or appoint new CEOs, Dr. Fiadomo says that it is rather unfortunate that he had to relieve those who were there of their duties, but you couldn't really blame the presidents because Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did the same, and so the president, John Dramani Mahama, he had no option but to do. But if we would have followed former president, the late John Evans Atta Mills, who, when he took the reins in 2009, allowed those who were working under president, former President Kufuor, to work for about 3 months, and then after his nominations of ministers, came back to that and then appointed new CEOs. It would have been a better way to go about it, and so we should look at that so that there are no gaps in the local governance structure or the local governance system. Already we understand that the local governance needs to be better equipped or better improved so that it can serve the people better than it already is. Many people don't even know the work of the local governance in the country. We don't know our DCs, we don't know our MMDCs, all we know are our MPs, and we expect our MPs to do everything. Whilst there are some things that is the work of the local of the MMDCs and the DCs, we are paying some taxes that go straight there, and they should be doing certain work. So it would be great if we could bridge the gap between the people and local governance, so that when we understand the work they do, we understand what is expected or required of them, we can better hold them to account, and they can do their job better than we are seeing them do. And that's what we've been discussing, looking at President Mahama, assessing his nominations and his appointments. So far, many have been happy or excited about his nominations. They say that he has done some good nominations. The president gave himself 14 days to nominate everybody who would work in his government, his ministers actually, 14 days to nominate his ministers. It's been barely 7 days since he was sworn into power, and so far he's nominated some 13, 3 cabinet ministers, 10 regional ministers. We have 6 more regional ministers that should be nominated, and other ministers that will work. Remember, he's reduced the number of ministries from 30 to 23. So if he's nominated 3 already, it means we are expecting some 20 more. In addition, he's nominated some persons to take up roles in our security in our security environment. These persons' nominations were also welcomed by the general public, calling it very good nominations. When we spoke with our Ashanti regional correspondent, he mentioned that the appointment of Nathan Kofi Boakye retired as the Director of Operations at the Presidency to oversee operational effectiveness and security matters is one that the people of the Ashanti region have received so well, because having worked with them for a period of time, and the people having loved the work he did and his personality, they're excited that he has been appointed to this position. Other key national security appointments of Prosper Douglas Bani as the National Security Advisor, DCOP Abdul Osman Razak as National Security Coordinator, Charles Kipo as the Director General of the National Intelligence Bureau. All of these appointments are appointments that so far have been met with some excitement by the people. So let's see how it goes in the development of the nation, in the running of the nation. The president, in his own in his wisdom and his thoughts, and has nominated these people and made some appointments in hopes that they would also help him on his resetting agenda of the nation. They would help drive the resetting agenda. The youthful nominations we have seen, it's not surprising because the NDC had a youth manifesto where they said so many things they were going to do for the youth. And I believe that these kinds of nominations also gives other youth the opportunity to see themselves in these various positions. Representation matters. Seeing somebody who looks like me in terms of age bracket running something effectively gives me the opportunity, or gives me the hope that I can be able to, if I work harder, I can be able to reach the pinnacle of leadership. I will be able to do work that I'm given regardless of my age, and then I will not have to despise myself because I am a young person. So that those are some of the things that has come up or have come up out of all of the nominations and appointments that President John Dramani Mahama has made. You as a Ghanaian, how have you received all of these nominations? Are you excited about it? Do you think that the president has made some very good nominations, or you believe the president can do better? So in the next list that he releases, you would be expecting that he will bring new, or you will be expecting that those lists will carry weightier names. So you think that this is the right direction, he should continue the way he is going. But these are let me go through the original nominations for you again, and then abreast or refresh your mind. For the Northern Region, Ali Adolf John has been nominated. Oti Region, John Kwejo Japon. For the Volta Region, James Gunu. Eastern Region, Mrs. Rita Kusia AJ Awate. For the Northeast Region, Ibrahim Tia. Ashanti Region, Dr. Frank Amakohene. Upper East Region, Akamugri Donatus Atanga. Ahafo Region, Charity Gardener. Savannah Region, Salisu Bay Aribe. And Greater Accra Region, Linda Oklu. These are the ministers designate for these regions. 6 more regions, and then we'll have all of the ministers for the regions in our country. But this is how far we have come. We look forward to the president's nominations, the more, and other key appointments. That's all for the main discussion this morning on ABC in the Morning. We'll take a break. When we return, Politics Today.
Lovers, welcome. Hello, paint lovers. Welcome to 2025. Tabby Paint is excited to kick off the year with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, where innovation meets sophistication. With a superior coverage, a radiant glow, and a durable stain-resistant finish, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint transforms spaces effortlessly. Designed for beauty and longevity, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint saves time with fewer coats, whilst delivering vibrant and easy to clean surface that stays stays flawless even in the busiest areas or under harsh weather conditions. With Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, every coat is a promise of quality and excellence. Elevate your walls and inspire your spaces with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint. Tabby Paint, the choice for your amazing spaces. Hello, paint lovers! Welcome to 2025! Tabby Paint is excited to kick off the year with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, where innovation meets sophistication. With a superior coverage, a radiant glow, and a durable stain-resistant finish, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint transforms spaces effortlessly. Designed for beauty and longevity, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint saves time with fewer coats whilst delivering vibrant and easy-to-clean surface that stays flawless even in the busiest areas or under harsh weather conditions. With Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, every coat is a promise of quality and excellence. Elevate your walls and inspire your spaces with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint. Tabby Paint, the choice for your amazing spaces. Hello, paint lovers! Welcome to 2025! Tabby Paint is excited to kick off the year with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, where innovation meets sophistication. With a superior coverage, a radiant glow, and a durable stain-resistant finish, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint transforms spaces effortlessly. Designed for beauty and longevity, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint saves time with fewer coats whilst delivering vibrant and easy-to-clean surface that stays flawless even in the busiest areas or under harsh weather conditions.
and still watching ABC in the morning live on ABC News GH. Up next is Politics Today. On Politics Today, we are looking at the Whistleblower Act and the fight against corruption. Did you know there was a Whistleblower Act? Is this your first time? Let's go through it and get some education on it, some insight into what a Whistleblower Act is. Who is a whistleblower? Like the name is, you whistle, you're blowing a whistle, it draws attention, and anybody who blows a whistle is drawing attention to something. So maybe it should give us a little insight into what it is. And if we pair it with the fight against corruption, you're whistling or you're blowing the whistle to bring an attention to corruption. In recent development within Ghana's legal landscape, there has been a strong push to enhance accountability and protect human rights. This has been highlighted by the comments of Attorney General and Minister for Justice designate Dr. Dominic Ayine during his vetting. And Dr. Ayine committed to strengthening the rule of law, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive Public Tribunals Act to regulate tribunal operations and ensure they align with constitutional standards, especially human rights and protection, or human rights protection. The proposed act seeks to create a robust legal framework for tribunals, ensuring that they operate fairly and transparently while safeguarding citizens' rights. Dr. Ayine's remarks reflect the broader trajectory of Ghana's legal reforms, and he noted that while under the PNDC Law 1, human rights protections were minimal, the transition to the 1992 Constitution marked a significant shift. Under the current Constitution, which places sovereignty in the hands of the people, the judicial powers, including those exercised by tribunals, must align with human rights standards outlined in Chapter 5 of the Constitution. This transition marks a vital point in Ghana's ongoing journey to create a more accountable and legal system. The Public Tribunals Act, as envisioned by Dr. Ayine, could bring these judicial bodies under greater scrutiny and regulation, especially through the establishment of regional and district tribunals. His commitment to ensuring no human rights violations occur under his leadership reflects a broader vision of judicial accountability and transparency. During his vetting, you know, if you didn't know, Dr. Ayine has been nominated to be Attorney General and Minister for Justice. And during his nomination, he called for a tribunal. He called for an act to be instituted and said that all of this will bring the Public Tribunal Act will bring our judicial system and some things under one umbrella to better look at judicial accountability and transparency. Is that something you think we need? Do you think we need that in our system right now? When we have the time, we'll listen to when Dr. Ayine said this during his vetting. But let's look at the Whistleblower Act that we have. At the moment, we have a Whistleblower Act. That's why I asked you at the beginning if you knew of the Act. Let's look at the role of the Act and how maybe we may not need the Tribunal Act Dr. Ayine is talking about. Or maybe because of the Act, we may need it to complement the work it is doing. Parallel to these proposed reforms that Dr. Ayine is proposing is the critical role of the Whistleblower Act 2006. It is Act 720. So if you have your constitution with you, you could go through it and you would find it. And it provides essential protections for those reporting misconduct, fraud, or corruption within the public and private sectors. It provides protection. In its current form, the Whistleblower Act ensures that whistleblowers can disclose illegal activities without fear of retaliation. I'm a whistleblower. I'm sitting with Kofi at this table and realize that Kofi may be engaging in some form or act of corruption, I want to bring the law's attention to what Kofi is doing. But I fear that after I have done it, there is no protection for me. And Kofi might retaliate to what I did, was right to do by bringing the attention of the law to what Kofi is doing. And that is why the Whistleblower Act is there, to give me protection. The law empowers individuals to report on corruption, fraud, and other illegal activities by guaranteeing their safety and confidentiality. I should be confident of my safety when I have reported a case of corruption or fraud. Importantly, the whistleblower is also entitled to rewards through the Whistleblower Reward Fund. So there actually is a fund for this. Interesting, we're all learning something, which was further bolstered by amendments in 2023 to widen funding streams for this initiative. The Whistleblower Act creates a legally safe space for individuals to expose corruption or misconduct by offering several safeguards: protection from retaliation, confidentiality, immunity from legal consequences, and where applicable, financial rewards for information leading to the prosecution of wrongdoers. These provisions are crucial in encouraging citizens to play an active role in holding public officials and organizations accountable without fear of personal harm or professional consequences. I shouldn't report a blatant corruption case, fraud case, and then be scared that it will impact my professional work. Somebody would fire me from my work because I reported a case of corruption, or somebody will harm me. This is one of the reasons why there is the Whistleblower Act. We'll go on and look at the Whistleblower Act the more. But when Dr. Ine was at the vetting, he said he wanted to set up an act, a tribunal act. Let's go and listen to him, find out what really he was saying, and if you as a Ghanaian believe we need that at this time.
The plan, which I have discussed informally with His Excellency, is for us to have a whistleblower agency in every district, and then to publicize the procedures, create a hotline where if there is wrongdoing that is happening, okay, we will, that hotline can it can be the regional chief, the chief state attorney, being called and, a report being made so that he can then, with the police and the other investigative bodies, investigate and then, ensure that the wrongdoing which is being reported, the evidence of it is gathered and so on. So in every district, we'll implement it and then have a hotline that can be used to report, information about corruption. So the anti-corruption institutions, okay, should not be thin on the ground or centered in Accra and, depriving ordinary people of the opportunity to report, acts of corruption. Well, of course, under the Whistleblowers Act, when you report and there's a recovery, you are entitled to 10%, a percentage. And I remember that in this case that I've cited, the whistleblower was actually paid. The Honorable Atachia, eventually, if you want to, cross-check what I'm saying, you can ask him. The Honorable Atachia represented the whistleblower in his pursuit of the 10%. We agreed to pay when MPP took over. There was some hanky-panky, and then the whistleblower had to go to court. So that is an incentive, for whistleblowers to report. So, Mr. Chairman, we need to operationalize and make sure that the anti-corruption institutions, the anti-corruption measures permeate all the way.
That's Dr. Dominic Aine at his vetting and explaining why the act he's proposing must happen. But let's go back to the Whistleblower Act and what it means. For those of us who didn't know there was an act for whistleblowers, now we are learning something new. One of the key highlights of the Whistleblower Act is its provision for witness protection. which also ties into the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the OSP Act 2017, Act 959. This ensures that individuals who disclose information about crimes such as corruption or human rights violations are not only protected from retaliation but also given support during legal proceedings. Let's look at how the Whistleblower Act protects informants. A protection from retaliation. There is confidentiality of identity and legal immunity and protection. You can see on your screen. Let's go to the protection from retaliation. There's also rewards for whistleblowers and a mechanism for reporting. We'll go through all of it so that we understand what the Whistleblower Act has for informants or protects informants. On the rewards for whistleblowers, the Act offers the potential for financial rewards to whistleblowers who report instances of corruption or misconduct, particularly when their information leads to the recovery of public funds. And the rewards are structured to incentivize individuals to come forward without fear of losing out financially or professionally. This is the mechanism for reporting under the Whistleblower Act. The Act establishes several channels you can use for reporting, and it includes the Whistleblower Office, which is within the SHRAJ, the Office of the SHRAJ, the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, and provides a trusted official body to which, as a whistleblower, you can submit your reports in a secure manner. And that office is tasked with investigating complaints, with ensuring that the whistleblower is protected. So understand that under this Whistleblower Act, you really are protected. SHRAJ will, in collaboration with the other agencies, monitor the effectiveness of the law and enforces protections for whistleblowers. If, as a whistleblower, you are subjected to retaliation or your rights are violated, SHRAJ will file a complaint. You can file a complaint with SHRAJ to seek redress through the legal system. If you want to report in an anonymous manner, the law allows for you to do that. And you can't submit a report anonymously through official channels to reduce your risk of exposure. Let's take a case in point for which someone can report. So a case in point is the A+ and the Ahmed Swale case. Recent statements from Member of Parliament Kwame Asare, being popularly known as A+, illustrates the ongoing need for robust whistleblower protection in Ghana. A+ publicly demanded an update on the investigation of the Ahmed Swale, the 2019 assassination of journalist Ahmed Swale. During his meeting with the Criminal Investigations Department, the CID, A+ provided critical information identifying a former government minister as the individual who allegedly contracted the killers. Despite providing the CID with a credible source, A+ has expressed frustration at the lack of progress in the case, questioning whether it has been sidelined. This case underscores the importance of not only having legal frameworks to protect whistleblowers, but also ensuring that investigations into serious crimes, particularly those involving powerful individuals, proceed with transparency and accountability. The public's right to know and the protection of those who come forward with information are integral to maintaining public trust in the justice system. So A+ says that he has given a name to the CID, however, he's not seen any investigation into it. So he would expect that there will be some investigation so that there is transparency and it doesn't look like those who are supposed to be handling the case are covering up for a powerful person. But the Whistleblower Act, this is what it does for you, giving you the opportunity or affording you the opportunity to report any case of corruption, fraud, or the like, whilst maintaining your anonymity, whilst maintaining the work you are doing, so that nobody is firing you because you reported a case. You are safe, you are sound for your families, and there's witness protection and all. This is what the Whistleblower Act stands to do in the nation. So if you did not know that there was or there were a Whistleblower Act in the country, there really is. And the Whistleblower Act is there to help us fight corruption in our country. And it's also there to provide you with all of the protection you need. This is something we have learned today on Politics Today about the Whistleblower Act. We'll bring you more education on it, especially when we speak with a legal person, someone who has more legal knowledge on this, and then we can all better understand and know how to hold others accountable. When you see somebody doing something which will hold the country back, any issue of corruption, fraud and all, you can report to the appropriate authorities. That's all for Politics Today. We'll be back.
Hello, paint lovers! Welcome to 2025! Tabby Paint is excited to kick off the year with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, where innovation meets sophistication. With a superior coverage, a radiant glow, and a durable stain-resistant finish, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint transforms spaces effortlessly. Designed for beauty and longevity, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint saves time with fewer coats, whilst delivering vibrant and easy-to-clean surface that stays flawless even in the busiest areas or under harsh weather conditions. With Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, every coat is a promise of quality and excellence. Elevate your walls and inspire your spaces with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint. Tabby Paint, the choice for your amazing spaces. Hello, paint lovers! Welcome to 2025! Tabby Paint is excited to kick off the year with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, where innovation meets sophistication. With a superior coverage, a radiant glow, and a durable stain-resistant finish, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint transforms spaces effortlessly. Designed for beauty and longevity, Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint saves time with fewer coats, whilst delivering vibrant and easy-to-clean surface that stays flawless even in the busiest areas or under harsh weather conditions. With Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint, every coat is a promise of quality and excellence. Elevate your walls and inspire your spaces with Tabby Semi-Gloss Paint. Tabby Paint, the choice for your amazing spaces.
Welcome back. Still watching ABCN The Morning. Up next is Ghana Speaks, where we're asking you a question about the anti-LGBTQ bill that was in Parliament before the 8th Parliament ended. The President, John Dramani Mahama, has had some things to say about the bill, even proposing that it rather be a government-sponsored bill instead of a private member's bill. He's gone on and on to say other things about it. I'm sure you have heard it in the news. We have reported on it here, and we have had conversations on it. As a Ghanaian, how do you receive the president's stance on the bill? Call us on 0539161609, 0539161609. It is your voice that matters. It is your voice we want to hear. It is Ghana Speaks.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections,
President John Dramani Mahama said that we should rather promote family values from at an early stage, or from the early stage, and in so doing, we wouldn't even need to pass a bill. So, as a Ghanaian, what do you think about his stance in the previous or in recent days? Call us on 0539161609 and share your thoughts about this anti-LGBTQ bill. Do you really think that it is a bill that should go back to Parliament and be passed? Do you think it is something we should be giving our efforts and our time to as a people, or it should just go? We should leave it be and allow people to move? And do you think that the bill really captures what it should do, or it really will harm us as a people? One day it will come back to bite us. What do you think about it? Call us and share your thoughts with us. When you call us, please turn down the volume of your TV so that we can both hear each other. So the Catholic Bishops' Conference called on President John Dramani Mahama to reintroduce the bill on human sexual rights and family bills, which many of us know as the anti-LGBTQ bill, as soon as possible, so that they ensure that it is his government ensures that it is passed in a timely manner, passed into law. In the meeting with the Catholic Bishops' Conference that happened on January 14, President John Dramani Mahama proposed that a government-sponsored bill will be more effective than what it is in its current state as a private member's bill, as it will allow for a broader consultation and national consensus. Do you think at this moment we need a national consensus on this bill, or we understand it too well, we don't need any consensus again? Call us and let us know. President John Dramani Mahama emphasized the need or the importance to revising our curriculum, our school curriculum, to include moral and cultural teachings, which will reinforce Ghanaian and African values in children. And he said that during the meeting with the Catholic Bishops' Conference. The president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Jemfi, said that President Mahama's government should not hesitate in passing the bill into law. He said that what we want is that it is made into a law. That does not mean that it cannot be taught in schools if it is made into a law. Many of our laws are taught in schools through civic education and other things. So the fact that it should be taught does not rule out the fact that it should be made into a law. Ghanaians are overwhelmingly in favor of it. So we don't want the use of any technical words to demean what Ghanaians want. Indeed, are Ghanaians in favor of this LGBTQ law? Is that what Ghanaians are in favor of? Let us know if you believe that is what Ghanaians are in favor of. You as a Ghanaian, is that what you want? You as a Ghanaian, is that what you want? Share with us. We want to hear from you. But President John Dramani Mahama says he would rather wish it were a government-sponsored bill instead of a private member's bill and wants us to teach certain cultural and moral values in our schools. And if we were teaching that, we really would not need a bill like this at all. The Catholic Bishops' Conference says that we can still pass it into law and still teach because other laws are there and we are teaching it. And Ghanaians have shown an overwhelming support to it. To this end, many conversations have come up on social media. Some think that President John Dramani Mahama is shuffling his feet. He's marking time on this bill. He should have a definite response to the bill and make a decision. He shouldn't be shuffling his feet about it. Others who are not in favor of the bill say that, well, indeed, it is good that the president is shuffling his feet on this bill because the bill is not a healthy one. It's not good for us. It will, at the end of the day, come and bite us one day because many have called it a wicked bill, the anti-LGBTQ bill. They've called it a wicked bill and a bill that will not help us as a nation. So you, as a Ghanaian, what do you think about it? What do you make of this proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family bills? Ghanaian family bill, what do you have to say about it? Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Sam George was very confident that the president will sign the bill. He was confident that the president was going to sign this bill. At the moment, president says that it should be a government-sponsored bill. If it's like that, there will be broader consultation with the people of Ghana. Do you believe that we indeed need a broader consultation on it? Some say that yes, we should really have a consultation on it because, as captured in the bill, someone could just say that I think this girl or this guy is gay or or just make an assumption and propagate it, run with that assumption, and someone would be persecuted for that. If you were an ally where you wanted to create a safe space for anybody in the LGBTQ community, you could be affected because of this bill. And so do you really think it needs some more public discourse and conversation around it? Do you think that there's a need for public discourse and conversation around it? But the Bishops' Conference believe that the Mahama-led administration should pass it, especially as many say that it was from your side of parliament that proposed this bill. They were the proponents of the bill. Sam George is an NDC MP. The other private members on this are NDC MP. So how come now that an NDC president, a president who is from the NDC is in power, we are now dragging our feet on this matter? Well, we'll see if indeed it becomes a government-sponsored bill. We'll see where the president takes this conversation on this anti-LGBTQ bill too. But you can come under our socials and share your thoughts and your comments there. We'll read it. We'll read it in subsequent ABC in the morning. We really would read it, and we're looking forward to that. But that is what the president has said. He hopes that it would rather be a government-sponsored bill instead of a private members bill. He also says that we should teach some cultural and moral values in our schools. By doing so, we really will not even need to have a bill as such passed. We'll see how far we go with this bill. But that's it for Ghana Speaks. On that note, we will end ABC in the morning. We are grateful to our guests for joining us and giving us their insights into the conversations. Thank you for spending time, taking the time out to listen and to watch us here on ABC News GH. We're most grateful for your time. We'll come your way with the news. So as you go about your daily activities, rest assured the news will come very soon. And you can also watch the news here on ABC News GH. We stream live on our YouTube. Interact with us via our socials at ABC News GH _. If you have any birthday wish, send that wish to our socials at ABC News GH _. For more news, visit our website www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com.